everybody that is watching this video. Obviously you know by the channel name and the title of the video, you know what the content of this video is. There are a lot of videos out there of people giving you hints and tips on how to get into motovlogging. I mean, there's a bevy of them. Almost every big time motovlogger has at some point made a video telling people, oh, how to get into motovlogging, blah blah blah. You know, and they always give you the tips, what camera to get, what microphone to get, what your helmet setup should be, what type of helmet to get. They give you all those little tips. And honestly, anybody could do that. If you have the money, you can go buy yourself a GoPro Hero 4 or GoPro Hero 5, buy yourself a mic and a helmet, the variant helmet, Icon. Anybody could do that, but not everybody can actually get into motovlogging. And the reason why is motovlogging is like giving a public speech. It's basically you're getting in front of people and you're talking about a topic. And people obviously listen to your topic, listen to you talk, listen to see how well you conduct yourself and how well you're knowledgeable about the given topic. Now, not every motovlogger actually talks about a topic. You know, some of them goof around or mess around or whatever, and, you know, they don't really have much to say. So there are all different kinds of motovloggers out there. You don't necessarily have to be the most personable to get into it. Granted, you may not be as popular. But there's nothing stopping you from filming yourself and putting it on YouTube. That's the glorious thing about YouTube, actually, is that anybody can get into it. Anybody can put content on it. You don't need to pay money to put it up there. So this topic is going to be about how to really get into motovlogging by becoming a good speaker. I am not the best one out there. I am not the most eloquent speaker. If you've been following me for a while, I have my flaws. I'm not the best and I'm not an expert at it, but I've noticed some things watching my videos and listening to myself talk that I could obviously be better. So first things first, it's important that if your motovlogging channel is going to have you speaking and talking about certain topics, is that you have to have a personality and you have to kind of be opinionated. I mean, it's bottom line. If you're going to talk about some news event, or if you're going to talk about some bike that came out, or you're going to talk about some topic that obviously people are going to be opinionated about, you yourself need to be opinionated. Which leads me to my second bit of advice there. Is to have an opinion and be knowledgeable about what it is that you're talking about. Do your research, do your investigations of it, and actually formulate an opinion. Basically be prepared. You may need to rehearse a few things, or maybe really need to evaluate and think about what it is you feel on a certain topic. Whatever it may be. It's like if you were preparing a speech in school, you have to obviously write a paper, and you have to do your research so that when you're presenting your opinion or you're presenting your thoughts on a certain topic, that you're at least knowledgeable and you know what you're talking about. On YouTube, there's going to be a lot of people watching your videos, and they're going to critique the hell out of you if you're not prepared. You know, YouTube's full of the comment brigade of the internet elite who are going to know more about the topic than you. And granted, yeah, you're probably not going to know everything about a certain topic that you're talking about. Maybe it's just an opinion. But you have to be prepared to back yourself up. So the biggest part of this topic is how to improve your speaking. The biggest thing is to avoid using filler words. What are filler words? Filler words can be, you know, little words or phrases like or, you know, filler phrases like, you know, or in my opinion, or you think, I think about this, I think of it this way. Those are filler words that your brain is trying to formulate, filling in between topics or in between points. Basically what that does is that makes you sound unprofessional, or that makes you sound like you haven't really formulated an opinion. Using those filler words and phrases is your brain trying to grasp what it is you're going to say next. So you're trying to fill the space. And honestly, you have to go back and review your footage to assess how often it is you use these filler words. So record yourself talking about a topic, obviously in motovlogging, review your video from start to finish, and actually listen and pay attention. Do you use those filler words? Do you use those filler phrases a lot? I know for me, I use a lot of I use a lot of, you know. I do a lot of that, and I've noticed that. I've posted my videos up on various sites, and a lot of people have called me out on that. And that's good. You need that comment. You need those comments. You need those bits of feedback. And it's good that people do that, and that's another point, is actually have other people review your content and give you their unbiased opinions. Have your friends, have your family members watch your videos and actually give you their opinions on it. And obviously they may be able to pick out little bits.
Then why don't you come down little bits where the food is tiny.
And obviously we know that your brain is using these filler words and filler phrases to go from point to point. Another way to kill those filler moments, those filler words, is to just be silent. Don't say anything. Embrace the silence. There is nothing wrong with going from point to point and not saying anything in between. And honestly, that could be a good thing, because it can give people time, or that little bit of pause, to evaluate what it is you're saying, or even to think about what it is you said, instead of listening to you saying So don't be afraid. If you got no segue in between topics, don't say anything. Be silent. That's the beauty of editing, is actually if it's silent for a long period of time, you can edit that out in the video. And sometimes even just slowing down when you talk. Sometimes we can get so passionate about what it is we talk about. That way, as you're talking, you can almost fill up the space of what you want to talk about next, when you want to bring up your next point. And don't forget to breathe. Breathe in between points. Breathe in between topics. Take a deep breath after every bit of info that you give. That way you won't sound rushed. And another bit of advice, sometimes, I myself do this sometimes, is you stumble and you trip over your own words. You say certain words and you start to stumble. So a lot of times what I do is if I stumble over something, I'll actually re-say it again, and I'll cut out the part that I screwed up. Obviously you guys don't see that because you see the final product. But if I say something, or if I give off an opinion or a point and I stumble over my words, I'll just say it again, and obviously better. And I'll edit out the bad part. So if you have a problem stumbling over your words, you could try vocal exercises by saying tongue twisters. So tongue twister number 1, the blue bird blinks. Oh boy, the blue bird blinks. You start out slow, you progress to doing it faster. The bluebird blinks. Next one, 3 free throws. 3 free throws. What time does the wristwatch shop shut? It's fun to kind of do these little things. Oh, God damn it, I hate this fucking road. Jesus. It's scenic as hell when the leaves actually grow. But god damn it, is it bumpy. Last one, this is a tough one. This is a doozy. Freshly fried flying fish. Freshly fried flesh. Freshly fried... Probably doesn't help that I'm on this bumpy ass fucking road. Oh, thank God. Jeez. My ass. Last bit of advice is that improve your editing skills. The nice thing about putting stuff on YouTube and going back to edits, which hopefully you have a plan for that. For anybody curious on what editing software I use Sony Movie Studio. What you could do, obviously, is if you have long pauses, long silences, or if you flub over a few words, like I said earlier, you can edit those out, or you can re-say it in a different way and edit out the bad part. If you're editing out a lot of those filler words, then you know, alright, that's something I gotta work on in my speech. And the very, very last thing is to be patient with yourself. It's not gonna come right away. You're not gonna see improvement within a couple videos. It's gonna take a while. Honestly, I watch some of my older videos and I cringe how bad I sound. And then I listen to my more recent ones and I'm like, okay. And obviously it's a year difference between the two. So I know I'm improving, but I still have a lot to learn. There still needs to be a lot of improvement. So be patient with yourself. So to recap, 1, be prepared to talk about what it is you want to talk about. The nice thing with YouTube is that you can talk about whatever it is you want. Be prepared and be knowledgeable about it. 2, avoid using filler words and filler phrases as best as you can. Sometimes you have to, and that's okay. But if you find yourself using it excessively, you may need to cut it back. Filler phrases like, you know, what I think is, my opinion. Assess yourself when you talk. Record yourself. Watch your videos. Have other people assess it. And critique yourself and have other people critique you. More often than not, other people that critique you will find more things than you yourself will. And be open to criticism. Be accepting of it. It's only there to better you. Slow down. Breathe. Embrace the pauses. If you're trying to segue in between points, silence can be the best thing. It gives your audience time to digest what it is you're talking about. Sometimes rehearsing to yourself what it is you want to talk about helps. Rehearsing it out loud. Rehearsing it in your helmet. Do vocal exercises if you have to. If you find yourself stumbling over words, sometimes doing a little vocal exercise can help. The bluebird blinks. So hopefully you got some use out of this motovlog and some good tips. Like I've stated before, by no means am I an expert. However, I have done my research and I wanted to share what I learned with you guys, to that if you're thinking about getting into this motovlogging game, to make sure that you do it as best as you can. I also want to give a special thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel that just recently passed the 100 mark, and that was something I never thought was possible. So for those that are tuning in, for those that have subscribed, I thank you for joining me on this journey. Whoa! Whoa! Thank you for joining me on this journey. Honestly, I do this for fun. I enjoy riding, and I honestly enjoy this motovlogging thing. So once again, I thank you. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for commenting. I really do appreciate it. So enjoy the rest of your day and keep it between the ditches.
Eat some shit, you stupid bitch. Just kidding.